Let's talk about the rules. So I think everybody has a pretty good idea of, the rules of tennis, ping pong, badminton, pretty much the same deal here.
It's a little different because you can only score when you're serving.
Okay.
And this is kind of one of the longest parts about pickleball is understanding the rules, because each player must let the ball bounce at least one time. So if I serve the ball to you, Anthony, I must let it bounce. And when I hit the ball back to you, you also have to let it bounce. And that eliminates people serving volleying like tennis.
Right.
So that's where kind of the scoring works. You can only score when you're serving. And you have to let the ball bounce once. Those are pretty much, I would say, the two rules that take the longest. Mm-hmm. And also the kitchen. I don't know if you heard about the kitchen.
I've heard about that, but please describe the kitchen to us.
The kitchen is about 14 feet long on both sides. And you can only step in the kitchen when the ball bounces in the kitchen. So that's when you see the diagram of pickleball court. It's the two front lines that almost resemble a service line to a tennis court. That's called the kitchen line. And that box is very, very tricky. And it's one of the most important parts about pickleball. Like I referred to tennis, serving, volleying, a lot of people would be poaching and stepping right on top of that and to make the game a lot simpler.
Yeah.
So they've established a kitchen and you can't step inside of it. But people, again, this game is changing, I feel like every day, if not, every minute, because people are jumping around the kitchen line. They're jumping over the kitchen line. Mm-hmm. And, they're expanding all these ideas and just the three-dimensional part of this game, which is crazy to see. I remember when I first started, I had no idea what this kitchen line was, and I just want to hit the ball hard. I just want to get tennis instincts and get to the ball. And even if you can't maintain balance after the point's over and you fall into the kitchen, you also still lose the point. So even if the ball is bounced 2 times and I'm dancing over the line and my momentum carries me into the pickleball, the kitchen, I therefore lose a point because I didn't maintain stability. So that also, I'd probably say those are the top 3 rules. Understand scoring, understand the receiving part, and the kitchen. Once you get comfortable with those top 3 rules, the game becomes very fun. You get hooked, and people say there's a pickleball bug that kind of goes around, and that's how I personally got it.
Yeah, and that's how we met, because we have some mutual friends who used to play basketball with me, and now they just play pickleball all the time. They're like, you got to meet this dude. He's really cool. And so, that kitchen, for the audience, you could pull up a graphic or aerial of a court, but it's kind of the area, it seems, right next to the net, where in tennis, you would just be right up against the net, ready to volley and, hit smashes overhead and things like that. But you can't really do that in pickleball. You got to stay out the kitchen, right?
Right. You got to stay out of the kitchen. Number 1 rule, probably, stay out of the kitchen.